Hi, I'm Will, and you're watching me struggling to land a drone into my kayak because my brother, George, and I had the idea to paddle the length of our childhood river. The River Waveney acts as a natural border between the English counties of Norfolk and Suffolk, along the banks of which we grew up. And with the same GoPro from 10 years ago, we were going to explore.
You're such an idiot.
Having done almost zero preparation for this trip, I think it's safe to say that we might have underestimated it. It was not going to be easy. We would get stuck in reeds countless times, get stung by nettles, and navigate fallen trees. This 4-day adventure would be exhausting, but we were determined to reconnect with the area where we grew up. In a positive way? Join us for this final episode of our journey along our childhood river, the River Waveney. That was probably the hardest hour of my life, honestly. That was horrible.
Don't stop. Just Do you reckon we could go underneath here? I'm going to go underneath. I'm not going through there again. Look at that, George. I'm definitely going underneath this electric fence. I know it's on because I can hear it. That is so stupid. It was going to work fine. I did it fine. You're such an idiot. Just don't lift your feet up. All good. Somehow got stung there. Oh. Well done. I'm trying to avoid the nettles. We avoided this, and now we have to go straight through that. You have weir, which is pretty awful to portage around, and then you've got shallow water immediately afterwards. It's getting a bit deeper now. Right, hopefully that's the last of the shallow water. I really hope so.
And it wasn't the last of the shallow water. That was horrible. I'm not sure if the footage is going to make it as bad as it was, but it was like an hour of paddling through not even a river, just reeds and stuff.
It's stuck in Coke's direction. Just portaged again. That was a tiring one. Lots of sea nettles. Oh yeah. Bullshit this is. I've got a burst blister now on my hand. Somehow this is an improvement. Oh, went right in there. Properly in. I'm not even going to finish in the boat.
But we're at our resting point at Homersfield. That was hard. That was really hard. This is probably the tastiest pint I've ever had. Definitely the most well deserved. That was pretty tough. But yeah, we're done now, which is good.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Good morning, day 3. Weather's not as nice today. We're very stiff, we've got loads of blisters. We're pretty knackered, but we're in good spirits. Excited and nervous for the first bit, because the last bit of yesterday was horrible. It should start to clear up soon, like today. We shouldn't really have any problems, but after the first bit of the morning, so it might be a tough start, but we'll see. Right, first obstacle of the day is a tree, and I think we're over the first one, and we're over the second one. We've just been through there, and there are a lot of flies. George got blinded by a cobweb and then opened his mouth in surprise, and then swallowed loads of flies. Look at this fallen tree with the perfect gap for us. Yeah, the river's been quite tight this morning. Made good progress, but George hits everything first through the reeds, which dislodges spider webs, so all the spiders fall on me, and then all the leeches go on George. So I'm covered in spiders at the back, and George is covered in leeches at the front. He's still trying to get them off of him now. Just easing our way through.
The graveyard of trees continued.
To the right, I guess. I might be able to turn it round this way. Yeah. Oh, yes.
Finally, we were clear, and it was time to put the paddle down.
It's quite cold. It's like a brand new river again, which is annoying. You were okay without the life jacket. What do you want me to do? Feels like we're pulling a lot of the reeds with us. Hello. Yeah. This is definitely the longest we've had to walk with the kayak. The River Waveney loops around Bungay, around the golf course and the common. Quite a long loop. How long is it, George? About 4 kilometres or something? Yeah, about 4 kilometres. And we're about, I reckon, just over halfway on that loop. On the way into Bungay, we did about 1 kilometre in 2 hours, which is so slow. The river was just horrible. You could barely push through it. So we're quite behind schedule, and morale was absolutely terrible. And it's still not great, but it's picking back up a little bit because we've been able to actually paddle along. We're not going to get to our targeted campsite or area for the first time today. Well, first time on this trip today. But yeah, we just need to keep going. 2 whole days of paddling, and these people in front are the first that we've seen in a kayak. Hello. They honestly could not care less. Just coming round the other side of Bungay and quick portage back in the river, keep going. Right, we are just past Ellingham Mill and we met a lovely guy and his wife on kayaks coming the other way to help us portage, and they said that this last bit will be 45 minutes to an hour until the pub, so fingers crossed, we'll make it there in time. George is already putting in a shift, let's go. Oh, into the wind, this is not nice. Despite the wind, we were now going quicker than we ever had before. The thought of the pub clearly driving us on. What had seemed impossible earlier in the day was now within reach. So, we've made it to the pub. Somehow we've made it. It was basically impossible at one point in the day. We had no idea how we'd even do it. How would you sum up today, George?
Terrible.
Yeah, that's it.
Terrible.
Just terrible.
Right, morning from day 4. We've woken up in a very nice wild camping spot near the pub and right on the river.
Sluice.
Gelderson Locks Sluice is where we are. I think George had a good night's sleep. George
Up by a Slavic man at 3
Yeah, there was a woke up by woke up by a Slavic man. Why it's so funny?
I had a few rodents by my head. I think it wasn't big enough to be a rat, but it was either a vole or a mouse. But definitely a couple came knocking at my right at my head, which sort of sent me into a state of panic for about an hour. But other than that, it was okay. They didn't get into the tent.
We were ready for day 4 and feeling good. Despite having slept terribly and, quite frankly, we were exhausted. What a stunning campsite. It was time to get back in the water.
We are just about ready to go. I think we've got about 4 and a bit kilometres to Beccles, which is our first stop, so hopefully we make good time. I think the tide is slightly against us, but we made light work of it yesterday, so not a problem.
We are just coming into Beccles with all these lovely pleasure craft. You right?
Oh, you look like proper grubby adventurers.
Yeah, we are. Ourselves coffee.
You're right.
Oh, that's enough for us. We do that back.
Are you the river police? I'd like to report an aquatic crime.
Look at these birds. Wow, so strong.
The tide has changed and we are absolutely cruising now. We deserve this. We deserve this bit of easy paddling after all the got a few pleasure craft going behind us.
The river was finally starting to widen as we passed through Beccles. This would mean there would be no more obstacles, which would drastically increase our speed.
Right, so good news. We are under 5 kilometers till the end. We are pretty close, and we've just stopped for a second to refuel.
We were nearing our finishing point, but still decided to try out a new camera angle.
Right slightly. There we go, now slightly to the left. No other way, that's right. There we go. Perfect. Rogue wave. Oh.
Things were going well, and I think we were starting to get a bit too confident.
I don't know where it is. Where is it? Ah! No! Oh! This one is called the Trebuchet. Go.
I think the alcohol was starting to affect our coordination a little bit.
Back! Okay. 3, 2, 1. Nice.
Unfortunately, we still had a whole kilometre pushing against the wind and the current, which was not appreciated.
That last bit was tough going, but I think we're out of the wind now. That was Alton Dyke, which is sort of in between the Waveney and Alton Broad. And the end of Alton Broad's the final destination. I think we've got probably just over a kilometre to go.
As we approached the end of our journey, there was a lot to look back on, as well as avoiding a boat race that we'd accidentally entered. We'd walked through stinging nettles, in flip-flops for some reason. We conquered fallen trees, and we got stuck in reeds and shallow water.
3, 2, 1.
But we did have a good time, I think. Probably. Thank you very much for watching our journey along the River Waveney.
I pressed the red one at the top.